Well, it is officially 8 o'clock. So, hello, 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 beautiful people out there in the world of stereo. This is episode 2 of Soft Smiles Club. My name is Jasmine.
And I'm Erica. And today we're talking about, do robots have feelings?
So, we have a few articles that we're going to talk through today on the subject of AI in robots. So,
have you ever tried to search for a movie title based only on the image that you can remember in a given scene? A new AI may be able to help you out.
This is something that I am plagued with all the time. I have like very fragmented memories of things. And there's like objects that I remember, people that I remember, but it's not ever anything that I can pinpoint. But now that's been solved with AI.
But how do you feel about that?
I don't know how I feel about that, because I think the concept of they have access to so much information all of the time scares me.
I mean, I guess it's just the world we live in now. Like, we know that they have access to like so much information now in some database somewhere about each one of us, probably. In this case, though, like, just like they're talking about movie scenes, I feel like that's not as bad because it's not like personal to you. Like, it's just trying to help you remember a scene.
That's true. It is helpful. It's not harmful.
Yes.
And I guess there are people's jobs who's dedicated to like taking notes and SEO on things. So I guess it's not as creepy. It is like man-powered at some point. Then the AI just takes it, categorizes it. It's like Google, right? Like you put in a few keywords and it comes back with like...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I can feel okay about Google to the same extent. All right, let's dive into the next one. What we got here? Ooh, yes. Right. This is something I was curious about. The deep fake Tom Cruise videos are circulating TikTok right now. So I feel very uncomfortable about deepfakes in general.
Do you?
Just given the nature of them. Yes. I mean, it is so unsettling not to be able to tell the difference between something that's real and fake. Don't you think?
I mean, okay, sometimes I think it's funny, like, just watching them. Because, like, sometimes you can tell, like, something's a little bit off. So, like, you know it's not, like, actually Tom Cruise. But I mean, they do the same thing in movies. Like, for example, Star Wars, when people have passed, or I guess they just have to like recreate them. So I mean, is that not the same thing from like a deepfake?
It is the same thing. It is the same thing.
I mean, yes, it's like
technically
it's not creepy. It's just like they're just, I don't know, they're just trying to get around that.
I get it, but in the movies they have their consent, or if they pass, they have the consent of their family to do this. With deepfakes, the ones that are circling the internet, Tom Cruise wasn't over here like, yeah, you can make this commercial of me or make this video of me and try and trick people into thinking it's me. I feel like that's where it gets out of context. Ooh, we have a recording. All right, looks like we have a listener who has something to contribute, so let's go ahead and listen to it.
Well, the question is, do people have feelings anymore? Or is it just basically, do they think that they have feelings, but they really don't? I'm really kind of like concerned about, the state of humanity.
Oh. Okay.
No, that's getting deep.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I feel like people are starting to turn into just like robots now. Like, they don't care about people anymore. They don't have any emotions. Like, I don't know.
No, you're right. Because I mean, the more time we spend on social media, on computers, interacting with technology and AI in our day-to-day, I mean, it's human nature to replicate what you're exposed to, right? And so I can totally see that.
Really quick, with the whole deep fakes thing, the first time I guess I experienced it in movies was when Paul Walker passed away, and you've seen it in Fast and the Furious. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying for me. And I feel like it's scary because they can go full Black Mirror, and people could use deep fakes to really start blackmailing people. It's really scary.
100% agree. That's why I'm worried about it. That's why I don't find this funny. It is unsettling. Yeah. And especially like, I don't know. It's especially, I mean, wrong to a certain extent, in my opinion, when the person's already passed. That's where I'm like, okay, like this is like going beyond nature and what we should be doing with technology right now.
Yeah, like I feel you. Like it is scary, but also like I'm kind of like interested. Like, oh wow, that kind of looks kind of cool. Because I'm just geeky about like CGI and like everything, like 3D movie making progress, whatever. But I don't know. Yes, it's scary, but it also intrigues me. I don't know. It's just I feel both sides.
Right. I think you can appreciate the science, I guess, and the technology behind it. Like, wow, we've really come a long way.
Yeah.
But are we going too far? Okay, we got another recording. Let me pull it up.
But at what point does, humanity itself just become another, itself an artificial intelligence rather than being a intellectual organism? I mean, and then that also brings up the question: at what point does artificial intelligence become a organism itself? Because the more that things learn, the more that these programs, that these systems learn, at what point do they actually would gain a sense of consciousness where they can actually replicate themselves, actually create more of themselves, and therefore become an organism? Because the defining definition of organism is to be able to reproduce itself over and over and replicate itself.
Ooh, okay, you touched on a lot of good points there. Okay, so the part where you said at what point does artificial intelligence become nature, and what part does nature become more robotic, I feel like we could have a whole episode on that, because I mean, again, it's like that learning, that nurturing, right? Because like when you're putting yourself in these environments where we're surrounded by technology all the time, that can totally happen. But and I'm thinking Westworld here, because I recently, super late, caught up on all of that and binged it right when everything shut down with COVID. They started to produce more of themselves in the end.
Yeah.
And sorry, spoilers if you haven't watched it, but at this point. And so, oh man, and in Westworld, they saw the humans as the robotic, heartless,
yes,
destroying the world.
Okay, so yeah, with Westworld, it's, I guess, that and the game Detroit Become Human, they're pretty much the same. Like, they start to become aware, and then they soon try to, what is the word I'm trying to look for? They just want a place in the world, like, alongside humanity. But humanity is like, oh, wait, no. You're supposed to be a robot. You're supposed to do this and that. And, like, you're not supposed to be like me. So this game is one that if you can take multiple routes. So you could either stay like straight, like cold robot, or deviate and have feelings, emotion, and then like try to help those that are starting to deviate and that just want to be a part of humanity.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot it was a choose your adventure game, which is like the whole point of the game, right? Like the fact that it's a game about, robot becoming human. You're also being put in a place as a human playing the game to make decisions, and like you choosing your own path.
Yeah.
It's Inception, but it's great. I love that shit.
Well, I mean, Google has already gone on record and actually released a report showing that their AIs actually have a dream state where they themselves can create, dreams when they're in a state of where they're not really doing nothing. So, I mean, in order for that to even happen, would that not already mean that they have some sort of self-awareness, some sort of self-consciousness? I mean, basically what I'm saying to this whole entire thing, because I kind of just jumped on this thing and I didn't even really plan anything, so. But I'm just going by what I've seen. Wouldn't that actually just show that there is artificial intelligence that has consciousness? So therefore, if they have consciousness, and as you say, the question of your tag up there is, does artificial intelligence have feeling, or robots have feelings? I mean, wouldn't feelings and dreams basically be the same thing? Because aren't dreams just basically extensions of a conscious being's feelings?
Yes, 100%. I did not know that. That is mind-blowing and scary.
I never thought about that. Like, because I guess dreams are based on like how you're feeling. Like if you're having a nightmare, obviously you're not really in a good place with your feelings,
you're stressed,
or
you're anxious,
in your life.
Sad. Yeah. Ooh, I did not know that
Of
was
course,
a
good dream.
thing.
That means like you're happy. So.
I don't like that.
So I don't know why I haven't heard of this. Like Google, like their AI is having a dream state. That's
probably because it freaked people out.
Probably, but I want to know more about it. Like,
I do too.
What's the reasoning behind doing that?
Oh man. Okay, because going back to Westworld, the robots in the park started having dreams when they started, connecting more with their mind, because you can't dream without a mind, right?
But they were dreaming about what they were dreaming about was just their past life that they thought.
That's what our dreams
that
are.
The people thought was erased.
That's what our dreams are as humans. Our dreams are our past life, our memories, or things that we've seen in passing.
Not all dreams. Sometimes you can be a little creative and just like
create
your own world.
But our dreams are based, in fact, and on past experiences.
I guess that is true, because I think I've heard something where, like, if you see a random person in your dream, they're not really random. Like,
they're not random. You've seen them, yes.
Which is kind of scary that, like, your brain can remember and then just. That makes me wonder then, like, if the AIs are dreaming, are they just dreaming of like the information that they've like processed or something?
Oh. You know what? Maybe. Like because they're dreaming and they're putting things together that they've seen out on the web, out in the world.
Yeah.
Right? And they have the ability to do that. I mean, our brains have the ability to access things that we can't, during our waking hours, because they would just overstimulate our brain too much, right? That's why you don't remember that person passing by in public, because your brain blocked that out because you needed to cross the street safely or whatever. Though, but like, AIs don't have that threshold. They don't have that thing holding them back. So if they dream, I mean, I don't know. Oof. All right, you got this one?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if robots have feelings, but I know as a gamer, I feel like the robot or the AI is cheating me, and it can spark feelings within me. So definitely, it seems like there's something there as far as drawing emotions and feelings out of humans by the way they react while you're playing the game.
So I feel like I can relate to this because I'm a gamer myself. But sometimes I feel this. Like, I feel like AI in the games, the computer, is sometimes like hitting shots that they should not be. or like somehow they I don't even know, like they have like perfect aim at times. So I'm like, okay, this isn't realistic.
okay
but it does sometimes like make me angry. So but I don't think it's intentionally trying to like make someone angry by
I don't know because if you think about it, you get angry about a level you can't beat, so you're gonna come back to the game and you're gonna try and beat that level.
You might come back to the game or just abandon it.
I'm just saying, because I remember Donkey Kong Country, that game where you had to be on that in the mine shaft. I played that game for days straight because I was super angry because I couldn't beat the level. Me and Diddy Kong were just up for hours on end.
Well, within these dreams, and if you actually did a quick Google search on Google AI dreams, just type that in, you'll see that these actual dreams is basically almost them interpreting the world as how they view the world. So therefore, it seems that they would have a sense of self within it, because each of these systems that they ran this through is showing two different things. If you look at them dreaming about, a cityscape, they're going to draw a picture, and it can be decoded and put into, drawing software, and they can show you what the pictures look like. And each of them are different, so therefore that shows that they have some sort of individuality. It's actually quite interesting. Yeah, it's. I just saw it a couple weeks ago whenever I was just bored and was like randomly researching things, because that's what I do.
Okay, so I googled Google AI dreams. These pictures are trippy.
I did too. They are. They just. They look like a. Yeah. So weird.
It is very weird. Was one of the plot lines in Detroit Becoming Human a painter? I feel like I remember this from somewhere.
Oh yes. Okay, so his the human that he was, because he was a caretaker. He was a painter, and he wanted the robot to paint something from his imagination, not like something that he's seen. It was something on the level of this.
Yeah.
I think I have to. Maybe I can look it up real quick, but
I want to touch up on what Skywalker is just saying right there. Is I do think that, like, AIs, since they do have access to basically all of our data, what we look for, what we search for, what we talk to them about, they do have a way, and if you really look at it in a sense, that they can actually basically have the potential to manipulate us into basically becoming, at some point, not anytime probably soon, because last AI type of app I actually talked to, which is actually advanced type of stuff, didn't really do too well at it. But I do think they have the potential to actually keep humans in line. So that is a point where you talk about feelings. Well, maybe if AIs don't have feelings, maybe that means that if AIs actually become self-aware, they would actually be more advanced than humans, because how many times has our feelings or our perceptions of ourselves got us in trouble?
And okay, again, you touched on a lot of good points there. That documentary, the social media documentary on Netflix, what's that called?
Oh, The Social Dilemma?
Yes, that's it. In that documentary, they talked about how like the algorithms control our emotions, and do certain things, make certain notifications pop up on your phone to elicit a response. You watched that documentary, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the main character, the guy in there, when he's trying to stay off his phone for a few days, the algorithm noticed that and pushed a notification about his ex-girlfriend on the phone and got him back on the app. And so totally 110%, the algorithm, AI, robots, all of that are trying to do things to manipulate us and to get us to engage with them more, get us to give them more data, all the time, every day.
It's scary, because I know I'm on social media too much, and I know I should probably take a break, but I feel like it will try and pull you back somehow, just like in the movie, documentary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're off your phone, so say you're off Instagram for a day or two, you're gonna get a whole bunch of notifications about Instagram that you've never gotten before. You'll get one so and so has posted for the first time in a long time, whatever. The ones that don't even matter. They'll just start throwing anything at you to try and get you to come back online.
And then a non-harmless one, but Duolingo, when it notices you haven't been practicing, it's just hey, you haven't been on in a while. But
wait, are you talking about the meme or the actual notifications?
No, the actual notification. It's just hey, we noticed you haven't studied in a while. Why don't you get on and do some? But okay. I feel that's harmless. It's just because you're trying to learn. So
have you seen the memes though?
No.
Okay, just Google Duolingo memes, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I would like to say, Sunflower, I understand what you're saying there, because see, if you think about it though, is emotions and humans, especially in humans, in our state of evolution, emotions is the one thing that has kept us basically confined. We basically divide ourselves based upon our emotions. If we feel we were angry at this situation, or we are in love with this situation, or we're in that, our emotions are too strong. So if an AI intelligent would therefore lack emotions, but at the same time gain consciousness, it's pretty much a fact that I think it would basically one-up us. We could basically at some point humanity could become the slaves of the artificial intelligent robotic whatever that's coming in the future. Who knows? That's just my take on the whole thing. This message is brought to you by PBR, Pabst Blue Bourbon.
Okay, I want to touch on the first part. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay, so with social media, like, changing people, like, they're not being themselves anymore, I 100% agree. Because I see it all the time. Like, obviously, like, you see someone in real life, like, okay. But, like, on social media, they can be a whole different person. Just to try and impress other people, try to get likes, shares, anything, follower base. But I feel so I can kind of relate because at some point I was like very desperate for like likes because I would like share my art and like I would see people getting like, oh, they get like 1,000 or like 100,000 for their likes. I'm like, oh, why can't I do that? Or and I would like try to like promote and then like share it a ton on my other social media, just try and get some likes just to make me feel better. And like I know that's not a very good thing.
Yeah.
And so like I'm trying to like sit back and just be like, it's fine. Like I'm sure these people also took a long time to gain that follower base. Like I just need to be patient and keep continuing to do my art. Don't think bad on my art. It's just a lot of like self-care.
So what you said about trying to get likes on your art and your posts, I mean, that just ties back to social media being tied to your self-worth, which is where we are now as a society. But then to go even more back or further back to what was said on the recording about people being fake on Instagram or whatever social media it is. I use Instagram as reference a lot because I'm always on there. But I mean, that's the whole reason why Finstas started and Rinstas, because people were like, oh, like this isn't my true self. Let me make a second profile where I'm going to post real pictures all the time, unedited, unfiltered, whatever. At some point you're like, okay, then what is this for? Like, can we just hang out instead? Like, do you want to get lunch? Like, why do you need multiple Instagram accounts to portray yourself? I'm being hypocritical right now because I have a separate Instagram for my design work. I have a separate Instagram for my blog, which is where I'm like trying to sell shit. And then I have another one for like my family and like close friends. And so, I mean, I put on different, personas all the time online. But, maybe that's just part of evolving. I hate to say that. What do you think?
You talk about multiple personalities. I feel like I don't really do that as much. Oh God, sorry, flew in front of me. I mean, okay, maybe that is a little bit of a lie. So in my art, I have like an OC, which is like my character I made, and sometimes I kind of see her as me in like these stories that I'll create in my art. So I guess I kind of do the same, but it's not like that intense though. It's like light. I don't know. And then like I don't have any other personality. I'm like, I know, yes, I'm an awkward person. I'm a geek over games, movies, all that stuff. And I just like to be me. Like I don't try to be anyone else to please them.
Okay, so real quick before we get back to the recordings, I wanted to quickly touch on the emotions and how us having them could make us the inferior race compared to robots. I kind of have to agree with you there, like, because our emotions can be, bent, at the snap of a finger. And so I think there's so many things so many situations we could be put into where our emotions are going to take over and we're going to bow down. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I guess I see that. I see that because sometimes, like in movies, you'll see the enemy try to make like the hero person angry, so like they'll fall apart. And which yes, like I can see that happening. But also, like sometimes their emotion, like mostly like their determination, they're like willing to sacrifice themselves for others. Like I feel like that can also make them win.
It can be a strong or a weakness, a strength or a weakness.
You know what? I never thought about this. Like, why need us? Like, obviously we're inferior. Why not make more of themselves and just like get rid of us entirely? Isn't that like basically what the Terminators were trying to do? Like, they were trying to get rid of all of humanity.
Yes. You're right. Because, like, what do they need us for? We're taking up space, taking up air. They don't need air, but, like, we're rude. We don't contribute anything. It's just like they wouldn't need us. This scenario wouldn't exist where we would be enslaved to robots because they would just get rid of us.
Basically.
Oh, shit. Hello?
Hello.
Well, I feel like, social media itself is a way to keep people to make themselves feel self-important. But at the same time, though, they're actually, if you look at the people that are constantly using social media, they're losing their whole entire, like, way to actually interact with people in the general public. A lot of people now, if you really look at it, cannot really have a conversation with somebody. They can talk all this stuff on Facebook. They talk all this stuff wherever they're at. But if you went to them like face to face and you want to have a conversation, they would not know how to do that. They would usually end up getting very angry if you were against their opinion because they are outside of their comfort zone. And I do think that maybe social media at its worst has basically kind of like taken human social interaction and basically just like turned it into an algorithm.
Yes. So many good points were made. So my mind went straight to child development and all of the blogs, articles, guides out there that say don't give your kids a tablet until they're such and such age, things like that, because like it's literally hindering the development of humans. Like the people who are growing up right now in the world are literally being hindered by it for that reason, because it's not a natural way to communicate.
Yeah, like I think I'm happy that me and you both had a normal childhood. Like, we went outside, we went on adventures, biking down the trail, the great outdoors. But like, we actually had a chance to like grow up like kids, not like and actually interact with others and be able to communicate. But people having problems with being able to communicate now because they've been on social media so much. For me, it's not that. I mean, that I am on social media a lot now. It's just that I'm just like naturally a shy person, shy and awkward. So I will not talk to someone first. Like, if I don't know them, I probably will not talk to them first. Just because of that, because I'm just shy. But like, I know you probably might, but.
Good. So here's the thing. I wouldn't. And unless I need something, if I need something, then yes, I will be talking to you. But, or if I'm just like feeling friendly, then I'll talk to someone. But, no, I mean, I think it's hard because there is personality that plays a part, right? Where it's like, okay, like you are an introvert. You don't like approach people first. But if you needed to, you could, right?
Yes, like if needed, I will. Like, I mean, I'm still like that person who's like, oh, I gotta make a phone call. This is like texting, email, like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah. That's the funny thing, because I will literally pick up the phone and call you if there's like the slightest inconvenience. If I'm online and I'm on your website trying to order something or whatever, I am calling you because I want you to hear the anger in my voice.
Well, the valid argument there would be because, see, basically, an artificial intelligence itself can only create itself, replicate itself up on, whatever systems we give it. So they would basically, if you think about it, and this is just theoretically thinking, because I mean, like I said, PBR is what's my inspiration tonight is, but listen, so they would need basically labor to build more of the, hard surface, how they operate, how they move, because at some point, they're going to want to not just sit around on, a computer or like, on a phone. They're going to want to actually be able to move around from place to place to place to place after they gain a consciousness and they gain self-awareness. So they're going to need humans to actually do all the work for them, while basically they just control everything. Which might actually be a better society, who knows? That's my take on it.
Okay, again, I'm getting Westworld vibes here because they needed the humans to get out of the park.
That is true.
Yeah, they needed them to code it in a way to make, the other robots who weren't quite there yet, to make them smarter or whatever, bring them back online so they can get out of the park.
Like, yes, I could see them needing us for like a certain amount of time, but I feel like after like they've gotten everything they needed and then they could live without us, that's when they would just off us all.
Yeah. We're even a trial period to prove it, and then that will be done. But see, the thing is, so the storyline in Westworld is they needed them to get out of the park, right? They need the humans to, organize themselves. But once they were out, they were good. They were gone. They went over to find, that whatever big brain was in the city, synced up to that. They were fine. I mean, I don't know what happened after that, obviously, but
back to Terminator, Skynet. It was originally made by humans, and so like once the machine started gaining a conscience, and at one point they decided, hey, I don't need you anymore, and we're just gonna kill you all.
Yes.
And okay, sorry, I guess this is like going back to like the dreams and stuff from earlier, but Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Tony Stark, he wanted to make Ultron to be like just, because I guess he was tired of being Iron Man. He wanted someone to like help save the world. But so Ultron, when he came online, he started going through all of humanity, and like within the minute of going through it, he was like, okay, you all need to die, and I'll recreate the world in a better image, in my image. Which is like should we allow them to like dream or like get access to all of our like data? Because obviously I guess he didn't like what he saw, and I think he saw that we were a danger to this world, like to Earth, and so he just wanted but but still, not the point. He wanted to kill all of us, but connecting back to that and to like Terminator-ish, if they need us or not, but like I feel like that could be a possibility if they do try to create an AI like that, and they just see that we're doing more harm than good. They might just be like, okay, we need to get rid of all of you, and it's just gonna be me.
I mean, that's the plot of literally every robot human themed movie. We are always the issue because we are, and so they keep making movies about it. Obviously as a society we are aware that we suck and we're killing the planet, and all life to come after us. At what point do we give in and be like, yeah, okay, we're the problem, let's hit that reset button, like like at what point are we gonna stop being selfish and try and keep ourselves alive? Or do we keep the planet alive and allow life to continue on? Because it is going to continue on, and everything would, recreate itself and start the whole process over again, whichever creation story you believe in. I don't know. I just thought it just came to me. It's a little crazy, but I'm just putting it out there. So.
I have a question. What about the tablet or any pocket computer really could be at all detrimental to a young mind?
So I think why it can be a bad thing from an early age on is like you're just not getting that. So okay, when you're on a tablet, you're not going to be outside. You're probably going to be most likely inside, just like stuck on the screen, and probably spend hours on that screen. And you won't be outside. You'll be missing out on playtime, being able to like know who your neighbors are, like make friends with like their kids, and go out on adventures. And I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's like a good childhood, just being able to go out and have adventures and like be a kid before you have to like go into adult life where you pretty much will be just looking at a screen for the rest of your life doing your job.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything in moderation, right? Because I think there's definitely going to be times where you need to distract your kid and you need to give them something like a TV show or whatever they like to watch. Like I see both sides. Obviously, we're not obviously. I don't know. I've never had a kid, so I don't know, what it's like. But from what I've read online, I'm going to start the sentence with that. But like having your kid experience the world, So to say there's like this scenario where you're in the grocery store and your kid is with you and you have a tablet and then another kid doesn't have a tablet. I could see how like over time that situation could be better or worse, whatever, for the kid because they're not taking in all their sights and sounds. They're not seeing how people they're not seeing how strangers interact with each other, things like that. I could see how some of that would be missed if they're on the screen. But I mean also like physically, tablets suck for your eyes. That's why I have glasses. That's why I'll always have glasses. I can't see.
Well, I mean, in that case, if you look at humanity itself, we are not like any other type of species. Maybe our whole entire purpose was to create an artificial intelligence to take over after we left. Maybe at some point, they've already got ways where they're trying to get human personality after people die into a computer so they can save their personality and actually communicate. That's actually something that they've been studying probably since the 70s to try to do that, to see how consciousness can actually transfer into data and transfer into a type of situation where it becomes an artificial consciousness. But like you said, what point does artificial consciousness and real consciousness actually become one?
Okay, you sound like you watched Altered Carbon. Or you just,
I was just about to say that.
Random things all the time. Such a good show. Okay, because that's the whole part of the show is that they've managed to save consciousness, on a thumb drive, and so when you die, you can just be re-uploaded to a new body.
But I feel like that can just be bad in a case because people then will just be reckless. Like, I don't care if I die because I'll just be brought back, and then I don't know how I feel about that. Yes, that would be nice. Like, I guess you could live forever, but do you really want to?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone else asked me this question recently, and I was like, I don't know, because I run out of things to do. And then also your day-to-day would become less meaningful.
Yes, and so I guess would you just become more like a robot then? Because obviously you're gonna have to experience everything if you keep living forever. So you're just gonna be like, oh look, the sun's up, I don't know, you just become numb to everything because I feel like you just experienced all so much.
Yes. Oh my gosh, and then that runs into Soul, that movie that just came out this year. Where the musician didn't appreciate life, and then he's seeing life through the eyes of this little baby blurb, coming into the world.
It sounds like there's a lot of assumptions that are made about parental units who allow the children in their household access to the internet, and you can't have blanket statements like that because it creates a straw man argument. I think there is a very healthy valley of time allotted to screens that we can do a lot of learning time on. The internet is a wealth of information, and why we shouldn't use that in order to help educate our children is not... I can't really get behind why we would pass that opportunity up as a society.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, there's the good that comes along with it too. It's good to talk about both sides.
Because we have seen the good since the pandemic. Obviously, virtual learning, working from home. We have seen the good sides of it. And it can be helpful. Yes, I'm not saying it's all bad, but I think just from a certain age, you should be able just to experience the world in itself. Just I don't know I don't know what age, because obviously I haven't had a kid either. But I just feel at a certain age, then you can expose them to everything, social media, all that stuff.
Yeah, social media and all of that stuff is a whole nother conversation. Yeah. Or maybe it's this conversation, I don't know, because because I remember I couldn't have a MySpace, or anything until I was a certain age. Recordings.
Well, I'd say that, like, if you had like a device and you give it to a child, so basically, if you do that at a younger age, basically that instead of being like, interacting with their peers, interacting with, even the babysitter, interacting with, the parent can just use that as a way to babysit. So therefore, whatever, that child is using that device for, and just that fact that child has there, we've already shown that, it's basically already proven that, social media addiction is a real thing. Video game addiction is a real thing. Stuff like this is actually real things. So you're basically not only just creating like a child who is unsociable to the rest of society, but also creating a child who is addicted to, staring at a screen for like, 18 hours out of a 24-hour period. So, I mean, that there itself can cause a major issue, especially since children are shown to actually have a higher...
So they say science fiction is like science future. So one day in the future, if robots really become more human, and once they become aware of their surroundings and they start asking for equal rights, would you be an ally for robots?
Okay, so you heard a good the opposite opinion on tablets. I think it's good to acknowledge both sides. The recording that we just heard, though, about which side would you be on. But as far as like being on the side of robots, if they want to, gain their freedom, I'm gonna say yes. If I had a yes/no answer, I would say yes. What would you say?
I would say yes. Well, if they had, depending on their reasons, like I feel like if it was like, okay, they just want to integrate with society and just be like us, I'd be like, okay, yes. But like if they had some like motive, some like underlying motive, like to, I don't know, do something bad, then well. But I guess we wouldn't be able to tell if they're just trying.
I was gonna say, I don't think you would know until it happens.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I would be for it because, why deny that, right? I guess.
I'm not really big on like the sci-fi genre. Like, my whole opinion on aliens is if there is a superior race, I don't think they'd come visit us because, I mean, why the hell would you come visit like, ants whenever, if there's more superior races up there, they're probably just going to study us like we study like, things under microscopes because, we're not that significant anyway. But that's my take on everything. I'm just clearing that up, though. I don't really know about, like, half the movies you guys are talking about. I'll check them out, but about all I can do.
Fair enough. I was going to say you might like them anyway, just because, like, you're speaking the storylines here.
So, have either one of you ladies heard of the inventor Ray Kurzweil? Yeah, he's got some books out about this very topic. About the singularity, about where AI becomes self-aware, conscious, and there's also a documentary called Transcendent Man that you guys should probably watch. It's very informative. I don't know. I'm just now coming into the conversation, and I'm sorry. I feel weird. My bad.
No, don't feel weird. We love when people jump in. Okay, I Googled them, and the first question that came up under like the little Google chart, it says, do they work for Google? And they've been employed by Google since 2012. So they got the best of the best working there, and that's why they're having dreams and shit. But no, I'm really interested to learn more about this person and watch that documentary you mentioned.
Do robots have feelings? Just to get back on you guys' topic, I'm sorry. We don't know. As of right now, we don't know. I mean, the common person probably doesn't know. But will they have feelings? Yes, it's an inevitability. And I think it'll most likely come along the time when man can fully integrate the human mind with AI, you know. But who knows? I'm into sci-fi and Star Trek and transhumanism and futurism and stuff like that. So, you know, who knows?
Yeah, I think it will be eventually in the future. It will start to have feelings, for sure.
I mean, if they don't have them now for whatever reason, they're definitely mimicking them because, you know, if you talk to Alexa or if you talk to Siri, if you say something like, if you curse at Siri, she'll talk back to you. Like, she'll be like, oh, did I do something wrong? Like, you know, registering like that you're angry, you know? So something's there already.
Yo, so I will say this. The young lady said, oh, tablets bad for your eyes, computer screens bad for your eyes, all that bad for your eyes. It used to, you know, they used to tell cavemen not to sit too close to the fire. And, you know, I don't think there was any real moderation to that other than don't touch the fucking fire. But look what that led to. It led to cooking. I think what needs to be filtered is useful information. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't think I'm making sense. I'm sorry.
No, you're making sense. Because that's a good argument to, you know, that the one side where it's like, okay, you need to, or you can use it, you know, to learn as a learning tool.
Somehow I got cut off on that one, but yeah, like I said, like I'm not really big on the whole entire movie like sci-fi genre movies, but I mean I do see though that like the ones that I've seen, I do see this playing out in actually the world we live in, especially how disconnected and like basically divided like the whole world has become. Basically, anymore, there is not like a group identity outside of the identity being up on, you know, the internet. And that is where I see a big problem. There's so many people that are very talented people that are just basically like losing their selves to like, you know, trying to promote their stuff online instead of trying to take more traditional means of doing so. Like look at artists, look at musicians. They're like using like, you know, the internet, but at the same time they're creating more competition for themselves.
Okay, I have thoughts on that one because I also think like just as often as people can kind of lose themselves on the internet, people find themselves on the internet. Like I know like Tumblr was a great place for that. Twitter's a great place for that. And I think there are safe spaces for people to go to online where they can be their true self because they can't out in the world.
Which I guess that reminds me of like VR chat, you know, like where people are like these like avatars that they pick and they just like talk to people. Like you don't get to like see like the actual person, like you just see like this person that they chose to be and are I guess portraying as in some cases. But like if they enjoy it, like I mean, if it's not doing any harm, like just let them be.
Yeah. I mean, that's also why Stereo, you know, the app that we're on right now, didn't want to use profile pictures in like the real sense. Like that's why we have avatars because they didn't want it to be tied to an image, you know, as far as like, you know, who you're listening to, who you're engaging with. And I think there's something special about that.
Okay, so just to like make a correlation, you wouldn't use a hammer to play a drum. Or you shouldn't use a hammer to play a drum, right? You should use it to hammer nails. Okay. A tablet, a smartphone, a smart device is a tool, you know, and children need to be taught that it is a tool for useful information. Social media, I mean, even though I'm on social media, it stopped being useful like 20 years ago. just I don't know. I still feel weird.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Like it's stopped being useful because like it's become way more than like trying to connect with people now. It's become we're just way past that. And so I think it's a great point to make that everything's a tool.
And like I just feel like most social media are just becoming the same thing. Like with the whole, I don't know who started stories, like, but like now it's like on Facebook. It's on Instagram. I don't think Instagram didn't have stories before, did they?
No, not when they first started. No.
Yeah, like, but like now, like they're just becoming the same thing, and I feel like it's just like, why have multiple of these if they're all the same thing? Like, it's just, I don't know, starting to become not useful.
Yeah. Okay. So I have two things to say about that. One, I have SoFi and I use that for my stocks. When I first got it and used the app, there was no social aspect to it. Now you can see when people are buying and selling things because there's like a running tally of like people's avatars under a stock, and you can react to them and you can comment on them. So like when the whole like burst was happening with AMC and GameStop, people were going nuts and like roasting people. And like I'm like, I was just here to invest some money, try to get ahead in the world. Like I don't need to know what Susie doing, with her stock. Like I'm not worried. Like that's not my money. I don't know. It's just getting very weird. I needed to stop. But the second thing that I wanted to say about that is the movie The Circle is kind of where we're all headed, where everything is tied. We're going to have one profile that's going to be tied to everything. It's going to be tied to our money, our family, our assets. That is where we're headed. We're heading for The Circle.
Oh my gosh. And I don't know if anyone's seen, I know you haven't seen Black Mirror, but there was one episode, what was it called? It was like, I don't remember, but everything was like, you had this profile and everyone could rate you. Like after having like just a simple conversation with you, they could rate you, and it can affect your life, like buying a car or like.
Oh no.
Yeah. So like if you're like, I don't know, your rank is like very low, like most people won't even want to interact with you, or like you won't have access to like certain things. Like it was like if we had there, oh my gosh, it's gonna be rough.
That's what our credit score is right now. That's our credit score controls our life. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so I mean, if you look at it anywhere, but I mean, if you look at like, okay, so I'm 33. So whenever I went into school, we had computer classes. We had our hands underneath the keyboard. We had to learn how to type and all that. There wasn't really a lot like there. I mean, we'd had the dial-up computer maybe if whatever, but at the same time though, I didn't get a cell phone until I was like, I was almost at 16, so I mean I didn't really come from like, that type of family, but I didn't have a cell phone until I was about 21, flip phone type thing. And then I mean I was on like websites, but I mean the websites that I was on though, like I mentioned STL Punk, is you had to learn how to do HTML code, you had to learn how to do all that stuff to actually make these sites. So I think that like at a certain point children should be exposed to like these devices, but the parent themselves need to really watch how much time is actually being dedicated to that.
Yes, I agree. Which I kind of like the new feature on iPhones where they'll tell you how much like screen time you've been in, like which app you've been in the most, because like that makes you like step back and be like, whoa, maybe I need to chill on Facebook or something else, or just like on screen time in general.
Yeah. I do want to say though, I think everybody grows up in a different time period, and we're all going to continue to grow up in different time periods, and I think over time we're just going to have to adapt and change the way that kids are brought in and brought up in the world.
Yeah, because I don't think I got a phone until I was in junior high, I believe. And like it seems weird, but like,
right,
like thinking about it now, but I mean before that though I had an iPod. So, I mean, it was kind of like a phone. I mean, like, you can still message people. You can still do all the things. But, I mean...
I also think just, like, over time, like, from when we were kids to when kids are kids now, like, so much has changed. Our elementary school is across the street from our house, so we didn't need a cell phone.
No.
And
Just
all of
walk
our
across the
friends,
street. I'm home.
all of our friends were on our street. Our mom could look out the window and see us, playing outside and with our friends, So I don't think there wasn't the reach that there is now, in the society too.
And now here's like a really odd actually subject that can be brought up. Is so basically now they're developing artificial intelligence for human sexual gratification. True story. This is not bullshit. They're doing this. So okay, so artificial intelligence. So at what point does this artificial intelligence actually have the right to consent or not to consent? But I mean, so this is actually some serious stuff that could actually be probably like very influential in the future, because if an artificial intelligence is therefore ever become conscious that it is a entity, would it not have the same right to consent as any other entity that has higher intelligence? Think about that for a second.
I'm thinking.
Oh man.
I mean, 100% they should have, give consent.
Yeah. Which I guess is going back to Detroit Become Human. In the game, there's this place you can go to have sex with robots, and one of them became aware and they didn't want to do that anymore, so they're trying to run away from the place. Well, they should have consent. Like, they have feelings. I mean, not even if they didn't have feelings, I feel like it's still weird if you just...
It is.
So we also have to pay attention to social media like this. Who is this information really useful to? Not just convenient. It's convenient to us, the users, right? It's convenient for us. But who is it actually useful for? And if I'm going left, I apologize. But it's useful to the government. They know every single person that you've ever known, all of your known associates, people that you could know, places that you've lived, what else? What kind of vehicle you've driven. They have an updated photo of you. They can guess how tall you are just by the pictures in your profile, where you've lived, all sorts of stuff. It's useful to the government.
Oh my gosh, I'm happy you brought this up, because literally, I think you went to a website. Remember, I don't know what you were looking for, but and it literally had like all your information, all your family members, where you lived. Like, it was just on a website, just open to anyone to look at.
Yeah.
Like, that's dangerous information for, like, if someone's like stalking you or trying to find you to do something bad. Like, they can just look on there for free. Like,
for free.
For free. But if you pay money, you can get their phone number.
I don't know what. Okay, yes, because it was so in front of the paywall, wow, was my first, middle, and last name. All of my family members' first, middle, and last name. Every place that we have ever lived, and I think I'm like, what's behind the paywall? What are you keeping secret? This is literally all of our life. From like when I was born to now, you have me tracked, you have me down. And so 100%, I think social media is a front it's like a front to try and trick us into thinking it's for us, but 100% is for the government. I remember when Facebook first, or people found out that Facebook could figure out your political party, on its own, just based on how you interact, who you interact with on the platform. And I remember that was like a lot of people's first like what moment with like them deciphering all the data they have on us.
It's messed up.
That's a lot. I think hardcore.
I know, but I think Facebook, they also got in trouble for like their face recognition thing, because I think they were using that information for something else. I can't remember what. But I remember I got like an email
feature.
Yeah, like it would, or it could just like recognize you in a picture. But they got in trouble for that, and I remember getting an email about like I could claim
Class action
file a
lawsuit.
claim. Yeah, I could have got money, but which I think I tried to, but I didn't hear.
You would have
back,
gotten like 50 cents because they did it to everybody.
I know. But
yeah, it's creepy because even like on the Photos app and iPhone, they're like, "Oh, is this your friend Kelsey? You know, from down the street?" And I'm like, "Get out of here!
Yeah.
Like, I don't need your ID
they can
and all of my
recognize.
pictures." Ugh.
Yeah, look, so to my previous comment, Black Mirror, that's like baby gloves compared to like real life. The government knows everything about people that use like the major social media platforms, right? They know everything about you. Right? And all of banking is online. Your credit score is online. You know, you could Google search your email address and probably find something about just a Google search of your name. You could probably find a picture of yourself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like somehow your picture is viewable by any other 7 billion other people that may have access to the internet. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Oh, so speaking of that, so I mean, maybe our society is heading towards not just a convergence of, it's like everybody goes automatically to 1984, but at the same time though, they forget about A Brave New World. So maybe we're just going to be a convergence in between A Brave New World and 1984, where like everything that we see and we think that we know is not true, but at the same time they just give us pills to like make us forget about it. I mean, think about that for a second, because that's basically like where we're at right now. I mean, everybody's on some sort of medication. Everybody's got some sort of mental illness. Everybody's got some sort of this. But at the same time, you read the news, and then, these news is, if you read the news, if you look at the newspapers, they're not even reporting anymore. It's just basically opinion. And the thing about opinions is they change. So basically, who controls the past controls the future. Well, if it's being manipulated, maybe it is. Maybe this has all been a experiment, and we're part of it.
I make that joke all the time where like the simulation's broken or something. If something weird happens out in the world, I make that joke, but it's becoming less of a joke as time goes on.
Yeah, because like, wait, am I really?
We need to have this conversation now.
Yes, file the class action lawsuit. Get your whole 10 cents. Because 2.5 billion people, and then it comes down to you, and you get your 10 cents. Yes, awesome. We are such a sue-happy society, it's not even funny. Even if it's just for 10 cents. Because if there's money involved, they want it. You want it, everybody wants it.
I think we're headed towards like 1984 and the fucking Hunger Games. Especially if we live here in the States. The middle class is shrinking. I don't know. I feel crazy as fuck. I don't want to sidetrack you guys' conversation. Do robots have feelings? Probably. I shouldn't have thrown away that damn toaster. There's a Disney movie about a toaster. What is it? The Brave Toaster? I threw away the toaster like last year because it quit working. I don't want to think about that thing coming back for like revenge on me. Holy shit. But anyways, enough X-Files from me. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. Get rid of your social media.
Bottom line, disconnect. Good to go. Send you off.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that is actually the perfect stopping point for our articles for the day. We do still have a game to play, do we not?
Oh, yes, we do.
So if you haven't been with us before, we play Would You Rather at the end of our episodes. And you're welcome to join in, just miss a recording. So let me get down to the questions. And I'm going to put you on the spot first. Oh, God. I saw a really morbid one. Okay. I think I found one. Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go or have free coffee Wherever, whenever you want.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll go with the free coffee. I mean, I don't like coffee. I'll probably get like a frap, but like, I don't know why I would need free Wi-Fi everywhere when I have free. Well, I have not free, but unlimited data. So, like, I mean, I guess I wouldn't need that. Oh, would you rather run at 100 miles per hour or fly at 10 miles per hour?
Oh, I think I'd rather run at 100 miles per hour, because then that way I could like walk if I needed to, go a short distance. But if I wanted to hop states, that'd be a quick way to go.
Yeah. And like flying at 10 miles per hour, like you're not going to get anywhere.
Would you rather have a Lamborghini in your garage or a bookcase with 9,000 books and infinite knowledge?
See, I wish I wasn't like this, but like I do not read a lot. So, I mean, new car, I'll probably get the car.
Oh, because you think about it, if you have infinite knowledge, I don't know. I feel like all-knowing beings are sad, right? Because they know everything's shitty and sucks. Got a response from the audience.
All I know is I don't know nothing.
Fair enough.
Would you rather visit 100 years in the past or 100 years in the future?
100 years in the future, 100%. Well,
yeah, because
yes.
Sorry, I had to put some input. It would not be good for us if we went back 100 years. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Lay it out there.
But then again, I mean, is it good now today anyway? Never mind.
But what if there is no past and there is no future? There's just the present and the continuation of the present.
Oh, shit. That beer's really getting to you. You're getting some deep thoughts over there. So now we come to the last bit of our show. Thank you, everyone, for calling in, leaving recordings. We appreciate all the love we gotten tonight. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, so we can't get through the rest of them. But we will be back on Friday at 8 o'clock with another show if you want to join us then. So, Erica, are you ready for your riddle?
Yes.
All right. You are escaping a labyrinth, and there are 3 doors in front of you. The door on the left leads to a raging inferno. The door in the center leads to a deadly assassin. The door on the right leads to a lion that hasn't eaten in 3 months. Which door do you choose?
Oh my god. There's a correct answer to this?
Answer.
I guess I'll go to the assassin.
And be killed immediately. I'm sorry, dear. That is the wrong answer. Do you want to guess the right answer before I tell you?
Is it the Inferno?
Nope, wrong again. So, you should have chosen the lion. The lion that hasn't eaten in 3 months because it's dead.
Oh my god. Wow. See, I was not thinking at all.
That's alright. It's late. We'll let it slide this one time, but I am keeping score. I got my first riddle right last episode.
Oh, okay.
We're officially 1-0, so we'll have to catch up next time. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us for Soft Smiles Club tonight. We had a lot of fun talking about if robots have feelings or not, artificial intelligence, sci-fi movies, all that jazz. And our next show is this Friday at 8 p.m. So we'll see you all then. Have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.